Sound check, sound check, sound check. Sound check. Sound check, sound check, sound check. Sound check two, sound check two, sound check two. Sound check. Sound check, sound check, sound check. Sound check two, sound check two, sound check two. Finally, we're up and running. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Welcome to BWTM Sports channel. Don't forget to rate, subscribe. Of course, leave your comments. We appreciate it. Mayweather versus Mcgregor, the two powerhouses of combat sports, have finally met in Los Angeles, and what a meeting it was. And before I go into my in-depth breakdown of not so much this meeting of two minds, rather, before I do that, I want to disassociate or not acknowledge a community of people. And we're going to start from the top. And you'll understand my purpose of saying this as I go into my video. For those of you who will turn up later to listen to this, and I know there'll be some people that will do, I will not hear the top of what I've said, the beginning of what I said. Go back and listen to the top of the video, obviously later on, and you remember this bit. Now, there are first group of people that my message is today, and generally my videos are for the biased individuals whose judgments are based around race, color of skin. So this means whether you be black and not recognizing somebody's talent because they're white, or if you're white and you won't recognize somebody's talent because they're black. Okay, before you comment on what I'm saying, please go back to the top of this video. Right, so two classes of people, two communities there I'm talking about there, that will not give credit to somebody's achievements because of the color of their skin, whether that be Floyd Mayweather. You're white and you're looking at Floyd and saying he's black, I'm not supporting him because I don't like him. And or if you're black and you look at McGregor and saying I'm not supporting him because he's white. Either of those two sort of conversations or mindsets I'm not interested in, because of they're biased, one, and two, they don't give you a clear or fair judgment of what a person has achieved in their careers. No matter what they've done, all the hard work, the sacrifice, dedication they've done in both of these men's careers is just flushed down the toilet because you're a racist one way or the other. So for you who watch my videos, who are of that nature, I put you to one side. My video is not for you. This video also is not for those people out there that will say, well, Mayweather McGregor, it's a circus act. Because, hey, oh, it's a terrible fight. I don't know why it's been watched. Here is my logic to this. We're going to talk about Mayweather first. Hey, Mayweather, he's a boring fight. He's a shit fight. He didn't fight the best fight of his career. He's not pound for pound in my mind. He wouldn't have beaten Duran. He wouldn't have beaten Thomas Hearns. Yeah, there's a lot of fighters who wouldn't have beaten those guys. Never mind Mayweather. Look, we know Mayweather's talked crap about how he thinks he's the the all-time great and he's the best ever. Well, guess what? In terms of what he's done, the best ever marketing guy, entertainment in boxing, yeah, he probably is the best ever in terms of what he's done and where he's transcended the sport and taken the sport to, in terms of where he moved from HBO to Showtime. Name me any other fighter that's done that and commanded the sort of money that he commands today. Mayweather, that best ever in terms of promotions, marketing. He's the best ever. Ain't nobody. Even Muhammad Ali, in all Muhammad Ali did, he didn't do that. Muhammad Ali did something else in terms of transcending the sport, in terms of his political stance. And of course, he was a great fighter. So I'm not disputing that. And I'm not putting Ali, I'm not putting Mayweather in the same category. I'm not talking about two separate situations, but both should be respected for what they've achieved. So let's put that to one side. So, so the argument with, oh, this is a circus act. Simple. You don't like it, don't buy the pay-per-views. Don't watch the video. Don't watch the press conferences. Don't watch the fight. Don't talk about the fight. If you're not interested, don't talk about it. I'm not interested in golf. I couldn't give a damn who wins Wimbledon. And I don't care much for basketball. And I don't really give two hoots about baseball. But I'm not going to sit down and tell you I hate it. I just don't watch it. Not interested. But don't, you know, talk about, oh, Mayweather McGregor, it's a farce. But then pay your $49.99 or watch it on a live stream, or worse still, turn up to the event or get upset when you're not invited to the event. I thought you didn't like it. I thought you weren't interested in that. I thought you didn't want to go to that. I thought it was a circus event. You see, all these people that say it's a circus event, do you know what? Pull their press passes from them and watch how they suddenly want to turn up to the event. Let me tell you something. This fight is historical. This is a fight that will be appreciated after it's gone. For all the people that want to slate Mayweather, there is no boxer today. Let me back up a second. There are a lot of people that slate Mayweather and will say Mayweather, he ducked Gennady Golovkin. Oh, he didn't fight Margarito, and he got beat by this person, Castillo, and hold on a second. He's now fighting arguably one of the baddest men in UFC. Okay, and you could say, well, he's coming out of the boxing. If Floyd went in the cage, you'd get battered by him. Okay, whilst McGregor's taking a chance, and we've got to commend McGregor for making that step from where he is in the UFC or MMA and coming across to boxing. I don't know how many other boxers in this era could pull off what Mayweather's doing. At 40 years old, Gennady Golovkin couldn't pull it off. Kovalev couldn't pull it off. You name the top stars. None of them would pull it off or dare to pull it off and draw that much attention. So you've got to give Mayweather a lot of credit for that. I'm not telling you to respect what he does outside the ring. Forget that. I'm not interested. What he does outside the ring is his business. What he does. It's Mayweather, the boxer. Mayweather, the genius inside the ring, and that's what this fight is about. It's not about Mayweather and what he did with his missus, or Mayweather and what he does extracurricular time. I couldn't give a damn about that. I'm interested in Mayweather, the fighter. I'm interested in McGregor, the fighter. Those are the two guys, and the two guys coming together, two geniuses, may I say, two geniuses coming together to fight. If you don't like it, it's fine. I understand, and I understand that point of view. But because you don't like it, it doesn't mean the event shouldn't go ahead. If that was the case, do you know the amount of fights that would have happened down in generation if we'd listened to you? Oh, I don't like that fight. I don't like this fight. I don't want that fight. That fight's crap. Most fights in boxing wouldn't happen if it was down to you. I just want to make that point clear as well. And a lot of the people are talking. A lot of the people are talking and saying, "Oh, well, it's a crap fight." Okay, and it's shit and all stuff. Okay, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Simple. Don't watch it. But you know what? I'll be able to tell my children and my children's children that there was an event where a boxer and a guy from the UFC got together. They crossed for one night only. They crossed over, and the people from the UFC and the people of MMA came across into the world of boxing, it's a great opportunity to bring together. I think it's a fantastic opportunity, just the meeting of minds, two geniuses. It would be much like Bruce Lee stepping into the boxing ring. That's what it's like. Okay, I'm not saying McGregor's Bruce Lee, but he uses his feet and he uses his hands. I'm not comparing McGregor to Bruce Lee, but it would be that world Bruce Lee would be in, going into the boxing world. So people have the argument, what would Bruce Lee do in the boxing ring? Well, we're getting an idea of what a UFC fighter does who's at the top of his trade and is dangerous. Nobody's going to come to me, oh, McGregor's a bum. McGregor is the man in the UFC. The man, right? You talk UFC, you talk McGregor. I'm sure there are other fighters around, of course, like John Jones and other fighters as well. I'm not a big UFC fight man, but one thing you've got to say about UFC, you can't really say about boxing, is the best fight the best all the time. There's no like, oh, Golovkin's fighting Canelo. Oh, it's a massive fight. But if that was in the UFC, it would just be just another day, just another fight. And that's where the UFC trumps boxing. And I have a lot of respect for UFC. I've got a lot of respect for it. And having boxed myself and then meeting a guy or meeting guys from the UFC or the MMA world and actually trying to box them, they have some knowledge. I'm not sitting there, they're great boxers. I'm not going to sit down and say that. But to dismiss McGregor and say, well, he's only had one fight, he's never had a fight as a pro, and hold on a second. He is a mixed martial artist. So he's had many fights. Okay, he hasn't fought in the Queensberry rules, but he's had many fights. So the guy's a professional in that sense. Now, there are things that McGregor hasn't done. He's never done 12 rounds before. He's coming straight into a fight in his first fight, and he's going to have to fight 12 rounds. I think the most he's done is 4 or 6 rounds in UFC. Different situation. The guys he's fought with UFC basically stood right in front of him and need to be able to land that nice left hand and get him out of there. He's now in a situation where he'll be fighting a wizard with a guy who probably could take that left hand away from him and hit him back. It's the meeting of minds. It's two geniuses. So nobody quite knows what's going to happen. And I can assure you, I'll look down the camera and tell you now, I can assure you, so many of you that say, I'm not watching that, come fight that, will either pay for it or get a live stream and watch it. To me, that's not being interested. That's contrary. And boxing fans are so fickle. So fickle. I think boxing fans are probably the most fickle, not everyone, most of them are most fickle, two-faced. I'll tell you what I mean by two-faced. Here's an example. You've got Conor McGregor, who's going up against Floyd Mayweather. The UFC fans are going to back McGregor to the hill. Even if they know he's going to get an absolute pasting, they'll back McGregor. Us, on the other hand, oh no, we don't do that. We don't support our own. We don't support our own in boxing. What we do, we back the other guy from the UFC. Another example, when a UFC guy gets beat, they don't say, they say, you know what, he was in a tough fight, he lost, but he'll come back. That's the kind of fighter, and that's the kind of champion he is. He'll come back. Even if the guy's not a champion, even if the guy isn't a well-known fighter, they'll still give him that chance to come back and fight. In boxing, if you lose a fight, it's the last chance saloon. Oh, how will he come back from this fight? Devastating defeat, the end of the road. And that does nothing for our sport, which means that if a fighter loses one fight, that's the end of his career. Whereas in UFC, if a guy loses a fight, there's longevity. And that's the difference, the way they promote the sport, the way the commentators talk about the fights, it makes you engage. And I have to say, as a boxing fan, I'm kind of engaged in the UFC. I really am engaged in the UFC. And I'm looking forward to be able to, it's a great opportunity to be able to talk boxing with UFC fans and talk UFC with boxing fans. I think it's great. I think it's a great opportunity. It's a once in a, God knows when it'll happen again. And I think we're just going to, there are a lot of people going to miss the moment. It's historical. It's absolutely historical what's happening. It's an event. An event. If you look at it as an event, a one-off, then fine. But if you look at it from the eyes of, well, this isn't a boxing match because McGregor's, then forget it. Just don't even bother watching the event. So those are my thoughts on the things. You can look at this from two geniuses from two different sports coming together, clashing, and it's just mastermind. Two greats coming together and put it all on the line. Full credit to Floyd Mayweather for taking the fight at 40 years old, and full credit to McGregor for stepping over and making it to make the fight happen. You no longer have to ask you the question, what would happen if McGregor fought in the UFC, in boxing? What would happen? We're about to find out. And I think it's exciting, it's amazing, it's fantastic. And for me, I'm going to be positive about it. I'm going to enjoy it. So those are my thoughts on the McGregor Mayweather thing. You're still going to have people that are going to be disrespectful. And let me tell you something as well. And I had a thought about it before I started this video. And I said to myself, you know what? If Muhammad Ali was in this era, he wouldn't be recognized for what he is. And I'll tell you why. They'd called him a bum. They would have said that he talks too damn much. That anybody's got any, but it's okay. When McGregor, when Floyd talks shit, it's okay. It's unacceptable. And it's this and that. When McGregor talks shit, that's great. It's all right. It's fantastic. This is the sort of crap that's within the sport of boxing, the sort of double standards that's in the sport, which I can't stand. And I'll speak about it. And I'll keep on speaking about it because people won't discuss these things. Let's talk about everything else but the elephant in the room. But the elephant in the room. You know, you tell me a boxing event in Los Angeles, yes, McGregor's got support. But Mayweather getting booed the way he was getting booed? And he's the main reason why the fight is happening. Not McGregor, Mayweather. Anyway, let's see what people are saying in the room. Lewis Murphy, I'm fed up with this fight already. That's nice. Great effort, but shit fight. Again, this has gone way to WWE. I think it's what they call entertainment, and that's exactly what WWE brings. If WWE was that shit and not entertaining, it wouldn't last. It's last from decade to decade to decade to decade. It will keep going on, entertainment, and that's what it is. And that's what makes this event what it is, entertainment. Golovkin can't bring you this entertainment. Canelo can't bring you this entertainment. You name how many fights can bring you this kind of entertainment in the world of boxing. You name them. And if they could, they'd be earning the kind of money Floyd does. So it's a different level. It's entertainment. Two of the best entertainers in combat sport are coming together. To me, that's fantastic. What's up? Yes, Shogun Boxing. Hope you're well. I didn't find what McGregor said was racist. Well, people were looking to things. I know they said, I think he called him, come let dance with me. I mean, McGregor sees Floyd as Muhammad Ali is his idol. He looks at Muhammad Ali, he looks at Bruce Lee as two of his idols. He made it quite clear, and he's influenced by those guys. So I don't see McGregor being a racist at all. People look for things that weren't there. I'll tell you, there's a lot of racist people in the audience. I'll tell you that much. That's what it is. But I don't think McGregor's a racist. No. You got one guy's Chinese and the guy's black. I don't think McGregor's racist. Has anyone really seen McGregor box? The meat and the minds. The guy's a genius. The guy's a genius. So, you know, he's dangerous. He's dangerous. You know, he's fighting Floyd, and we don't know. We haven't seen Floyd box in 2 years. So Floyd's 40 years old now. So we need to bear in mind Floyd being 40 years old. Is Floyd at 40 years old and McGregor being young and strong and powerful? Remember those people that you say, Floyd's scared of Golovkin? Really? Floyd's scared of the Margarito? Floyd's scared of Thurman? Really? Well, let's see if Thurman might do it. Thurman might do it because he's crazy enough. He's crazy enough to go and do something like that. But and he's real cocksure at Thurman. But let's see Golovkin decide to go and fight one of the UFC fighters. Won't happen. Canelo won't happen. They're just not them kind of guys. You know what I mean? And if they could, they would have done it, but they can't and they won't. Yeah, I hope McGregor can put. I believe McGregor can do more than a lot of people give him credit for. What weight will McGregor come fight night? That's gonna be a good question, because the one you've got to think about Floyd. McGregor's the size he is at the moment. He won't come in fight time like that. And Floyd's a smart man. He's going to cut a lot of weight, McGregor. Floyd's a smart man. I didn't realize McGregor was so much bigger than Floyd. Yeah, he is. So that cuts out the argument about McGregor and Floyd and Golovkin. McGregor, it would be massive to Floyd. No, he's never boxed professional. He's never boxed professional, but he's a professional combat artist, right? And that's another thing. Floyd wants to watch himself, because this ain't all the guys he's boxed before. He wants to watch himself when he's up in McGregor's face, because McGregor is a man that can render you unconscious. Mixed martial arts guys are it's a different ball game. Different ball game. He wants to watch himself, Floyd. Watch your Peter McGregor call him Mayweather boy. It's just tongue in cheek with Mayweather. This side McGregor, isn't he? I think a lot of things McGregor is going to say is off the cuff. I don't think it's anything more than that. It's what he is. Great for boxing. Shame it's getting more attention than Canelo, Gennady Golovkin. But really, it's not a shame. It is what it is. McGregor, Canelo, and Gennady Golovkin. They're not personalities. They're not personalities. They're not trash talkers. Really, they're not personalities. It's a good fight between two good fighters, right? But really, it's a good fight between two good fighters. And so what? This McGregor Mayweather deserves. It's the meeting of two geniuses. The meeting of two geniuses. Gennady Golovkin, at 35 years old, is in his first real serious fight, in where his ass could get beat, right? First fight. You understand? His ass could get beat by Canelo in a big fight. He could get beat. So you're going to compare that to a guy who's fought numerous world champions, unbeaten for so many years, against McGregor, who is, well, he's a showman and a great fighter in his own sport. The top of where he is in his sport, and Mayweather was the top of where he was about 2 or 3 years ago. So, you know, if McGregor can catch Floyd, Floyd will drop. Oh. And then what about if Floyd catches McGregor? People talk about McGregor hitting Floyd. What about Floyd hitting McGregor? What makes McGregor's chin so great? What makes McGregor's defense so great? He's been hit, he's been hurt, and he's been rocked before. Remember? Or do I need to remind you? The fight is about money, and will be a huge letdown. Well, if you have that sort of attitude, suppose it's not a huge letdown. This fight will be more competitive than many boxing fans think. I think it will be. Not a fair fight. Mayweather has all the advantages as usual. That's called being smart, and that's why he's been successful all the years. So what you're saying isn't very logical. Why do you want to give up your advantage to somebody else? Why has Mayweather got all the advantages? He's not taller, he's not bigger, he's not longer. So those 3 disadvantages. Okay, those are 3 disadvantages that Floyd's got coming into this fight. So I don't know how he's got all the advantages. Anyway, politics and racism. Madsen 22. Well, that's what it is, my friend. And unfortunately, people won't touch the subject because it is what it is. It's in the room, and I'll touch it, and I'll go there. I'll go there because it's there and it affects us all. Boxing fans seem to want to turn away from those things that are quite obvious. Yeah, it's from the beginning of the time. It's been a thing that a black fighter and a white fighter fighting has always been brought money in and was a big attraction. 2 black guys fighting isn't as attractive as a black guy and a white guy fighting. That's just historical from the days of Jack Johnson. Let's go back. It's there. It's not. I'm not talking something that's. Ooh, don't say that. It's there. It's obvious. It's there. It's an attraction for some people. Some people want to see a black guy beat a white guy. Some people want to see a white guy beat a black guy. And there's some people who actually say, I want to see two guys fight. Now, when you get to the point where you've got a guy that wants to see two guys fight, then you're probably going to get a pretty bit more balanced view of what they're doing, as opposed to a black guy want to see a white guy get beat, or a white guy want to see a black guy get beat. When you're playing the colors game, then you don't really give the person that's fighting that sort of credit. And that's what stinks in the world of boxing a lot of the time, because people that should be getting credit are not getting credit. Like Ward and Mayweather and Rigondeaux, they're 3 fighters already. Top of their games, great fighters. All 3 guys, as far as I'm concerned, have accomplished more than Gennady Golovkin. Have accomplished more than Kovalev. But these guys get praised. I mean, remember when they're saying that Golovkin was pound for pound the best fighter in the world? Based on what? Achieving what? Guys like Ward being pushed to one side, Rigondeaux pushed to one side, Golovkin being number 1. What? But you see, again, it's how you look at things, how you view things. And I'm just saying that forget the race, give people credit for where they belong and what they've done. And Floyd has been, as a fighter, he's been a great fighter inside the ring, and he's been a defensive genius. And why, oh why, oh why, my son, I will teach him to box like Floyd. Why do I want to get my brain splattered? For what reason? To please a few people in the crowd? No. No, 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 no. Boxing's about hit and not get hit. That's what boxing is. UFC is not that. Boxing is hit and not get hit. Let's see. We already know Floyd wins a boxing fight. McGregor wins MMA. Everyone has said it 100 times. And your point is, please, McGregor isn't racist. No, I don't believe so. McGregor has said racist things towards MMA fighters. He called Diaz a cholo gangster. He also said racist comments toward Aldo and the favelas in Brazil. They didn't like Roy Jones Jr. when he talked shit in his prime. They called him boring when he made fights look easy. When Larry Holmes spoke himself, they hated him too. Jack Johnson too. Truth be said, it has to be said, and it has to be mentioned. And too many damn people in the sport of boxing who are supposed journalists and writers. Those people are not looking at 2 fighters in a ring boxing. They're not looking at that. They're looking at race. They're looking at color of skin, and these are people that are way up in the sport. They're looking at 2 guys fighting, and that's what it is. So even with the McGregor situation and the Floyd situation, you're going to see that. You're going to see a lot of that garbage. So I don't know. Mr. Boxing Today, where are you? Can you come in this room? I would love to have a chat with you, just to talk about the whole Mayweather, McGregor, and boxing. If you've got some time, I'd love to talk to you and bring you in the room, because you're my man. You talk a lot of sense. Manny Augusta was very unorthodox and Floyd stopped him. Yes. One of the reasons I like Mayweather is because he pissed off mainstream media. They love to hate him. Of course. This will be a repeat of Mayweather Hatton. Maybe so. If they both had a 4 hours gloves on, but boxing rules, no kicking and grappling, who would win? I don't know, and Floyd's not going to allow that to happen. This isn't a race for me. I just find McGregor more personable, and I find I'd relate to him more than Mayweather. Yeah, possibly, that's true. Like I said, there are some people in this world that don't worry about race and will just look down the line at 2 fighters and say, I like that guy more than that guy. That's fine. But it's the what do I call it? The indirect comments and the subtle approach of doing these things, which I can't stand. You call a snake for what it is in the grass. I don't know much from McGregor on boxing. Who knows? Nobody knows, really, to be honest. I mean, he's definitely going to be better than he was when he fought, when he was sparring with Van Heerderen. So that's the way I look at that. He would have improved a lot. So I expect him to improve. Mr. Boxing Today, I'm going to send you a link because I'd love to have you in the room and talk with you, if that's okay. And we can talk all sorts of things. Let me get the link for this. Let me get the link for this here and get my man in the room, Mr. Boxing Today. If you haven't already subscribed to Mr. Boxing Today, his boxing channel, check it out. He's doing some fantastic work for the sport of boxing. And let me see if I can find him again, Mr. Boxing Today. Let me get him in here. Love to get him in the room, Mr. Boxing Today. Let's see. A good direct message here. Okay. Okay, champ. I've just sent you the link in your Twitter page. So if you come in the room, I'd really appreciate it. I really would appreciate you coming in the room and talking with us. So this is a worse mismatch in my mind. This is Mayweather versus a novice boxer. How come everyone believes the hype all of a sudden? I don't call McGregor a novice because he has more than a novice. A novice to me is a guy who's never put a pair of gloves on in his life. McGregor's not that, because in the UFC he uses his fists a lot. A lot of his knockouts come from that big left hand. Okay, so he knows how to throw punches. Now, if you look at someone like Ronda Rousey and her boxing skill set, I'd call her a novice. She'd be a novice. McGregor's not a novice, man. No, McGregor's not a novice. He's decent, but is he good enough to be better than the guys that beat Floyd Mayweather, that fought Floyd Mayweather? That's the question. What was that spar footage from? Was that this year? It may have been, I'm not sure. I can't remember. I can't remember. But what was it like for you guys watching? What was it like to see McGregor and Mayweather actually coming face to face? Well, did you not, for one thing, think you've got the world of UFC and you've got the world of boxing coming together? It's like, that was like two minds coming together. That was like, okay, it's a bit extreme, but that'd be like Jesus and Muhammad, or I don't know, just two mindsets, like Bruce Lee on one end and Jackie Chan on the other. Just those things are just historical. Ali on one side of the room, Tyson on the other side of the room. Ali on one side of the room, Jack Johnson on the other side of the room. That sort of thing, Elspeth said McGregor was struggling with sparring. Well, he might well have been struggling. He might well have been struggling with sparring. So I just think it's great that sense. Mr. Boxing Today, are you coming into the room? He might have gone. He might have disappeared now. I might have scared him off. You see, he might be busy. To be fair, I might have scared him off. So, I mean, as far as I'm concerned, I just want to be able to listen to commentary, and this is not just McGregor and Mayweather. I want to be able to listen to commentary or watch boxing or read reports that are non-biased. Just tell me straight down the line. McGregor's first pro boxing match, can't give him a chance against Floyd unless Floyd brought him break down like he did against Bellew. I've seen McGregor have tough fights in UFC. It's all hype. He's nothing special in that either. It's all hype. Yeah, it's all hype. It's all hype. But are you going to tell me that McGregor's a bum? Are you saying he's not legit in the UFC? Are you saying he's a bum in the UFC? Are you saying he's not a very good fighter? What are you saying? I think you can give him a chance because he's in the ring with Floyd, and I don't know how much of a chance he's got against Floyd. Again, Floyd hasn't fought for 2 years. And McGregor's not. And McGregor's chances of winning this fight, as far as I'm concerned, are within the first 4 rounds. They've got to be within the first 4 rounds. So first of all, Floyd not fighting for over 2 years. McGregor, bigger, stronger, longer, and knowing that if he lands one left hand, if he lands that left hand, he could win the fight, and it's a massive jackpot for him. So throw those things together. Floyd hasn't fought for for a few years. Floyd also is 40 years old. Okay, he looked good against Berto in his last fight, but you know, and him coming back in the ring now, I don't know. I don't know. I've seen. I don't know. You'd think Floyd win the fight. I mean, the Floyd that fought Marquez when he came off from not fighting for a while, that Floyd I would expect to beat McGregor. But I just don't know, A, how much Floyd's got left, and whatever Floyd's got left, is he able to get himself together and be able to be ready, sharp in the first 4 rounds? This is a 40-year-old now. This isn't a 35-year-old or 25-year-old versus a guy who's in his prime that's going to come forward. Can Floyd handle that anymore? Can he deal with that anymore at 40 years old? I don't know. We don't know. We don't know what Floyd's going to show up. You know, his athleticism has been a key for him to be able to move around the ring. If Floyd isn't as athletic as he used to be and isn't able to move around the way that he was able to move around, then doesn't that reduce the chances that McGregor's got or improve the chances? So, okay, if it's 1,000 to 1 shot that McGregor's got, then how do you bring the percentages down to make it more in McGregor's favor? Floyd's age, so you just bring it down a bit more. Possibly wear and tear on Floyd's body, you bring that down a little bit more. The fact that Floyd hasn't been in the ring of the UFC fight or MMA fight before, like bring that down a bit more. Then bring down McGregor's very awkward looking style. Okay, so all those things there may work in McGregor's favor. But the thing is McGregor adaptable? If that style he's got doesn't work and he starts getting countered with straight right hands, like Canelo, like Guerrero, like so many others, then what happens? Then what happens? So, like I said, everyone's talking about McGregor being the puncher in this fight. I want to be careful because Floyd hits pretty down hard himself, and a lot of the guys Floyd's fought have been pretty durable. You know, they're not guys that fall over the first time they get hit on the chin. So he put down a 170-pound deer. So if he lands, it could be lights out. But I only give him 9 minutes to do it. That's my point. Floyd will probably have the referee as well. Yeah. Well, okay. Let me ask you a question. Call 2971. Let me ask you a question. Logically, you're Floyd Mayweather. You've got the opportunity to have the ref on your side, or have the ref help you, or support you, or to help you get breathers. You have the opportunity to possibly have judges help you. I'm not suggesting that's the case. And those things, why would you not use them? That's an advantage. I don't understand your point of logic. I don't understand it. It is what it is. And one other thing McGregor's going to have to deal with it now is that he no longer is the A side. He's the B side. And with the B side, well, there's some things that McGregor's going to have to. McGregor says, I don't mind if this doesn't happen. I don't mind if that doesn't happen. I don't mind if this doesn't happen. Okay, McGregor, but I think that those things that you're negotiating and Floyd Mayweather's being able to tee off, I'll be interested to see how McGregor does come fight night, whether he's going to have the same, he'll be able to move the same way after 4 or 5 rounds, whether he'll be totally knackered or he'll be able to go into round 6 and round 8 and round 10 and round 12. Can he still do it? That's what I want to know. If you can't get Floyd out in the first 4 rounds, or in the first 6 rounds, or give McGregor the fitness 6 rounds, what happens then? Be interesting. Right, I think that's about it for me. The next time I come back, I'll be talking about Eubank Jr. versus Arthur Abraham. Stay tuned. I'll be back. Thanks for watching.